coming along. My name is Angela Collins and I'm Head of Careers in Waterford Institute of Technology. So I've spotted 2 WIT students already, so thanks for coming along. Okay. Now again, if you can't hear me, you can say you can't hear me and it'll remind me to put up the microphone for you. So today's session is about personal statements, and a lot of colleges now who are recruiting students for postgraduate student courses are requiring students to put together a personal statement. And a lot of people are saying, what do I write? How long should it be? So hopefully my presentation will cover that for you, okay? So how do course directors, and they're the people who are looking at your applications, view them and why they want the information? So personal statements are, again, which a student came into me the other day with a statement of intent was written down. So if you see personal statement or statement of intent, don't panic, it's really the same thing. Again, it helps applicants, select applicants. It checks if you meet the required grades as well. Obviously and hopefully it will get you an invite to an interview. The questions that might come up in an interview will be on maybe the personal statement form as well. Understanding the nature of the course, it's very important to try and figure that out. And also, if you're a borderline case, if you kind of feel, look, I don't have a 2-1, but you have a very strong personal statement, it actually could be the borderline case. So just to bear with that and keep that in mind as well. Again, what do course directors like to see? So they check before. Why do you want to do the course? It's very important to put that in. That you're a well-rounded personality, and you have a well-rounded personality, especially if you're doing thought programs. That's come up a lot when I've been asking course leaders. A well-presented statement, so take pride in the statement you're putting together. Start well. A well-written statement is important. Any relevant work experience you have, you need to put that into your statement as well. Evidence of your transferable skills. You'll all have skills and competencies, and you need to put those in your personal statement as well. Don't be shy. Mention them, but also make sure you've got evidence for them. Also, anything distinctive about your degree results, even if you got an award, if you got highest in the class, or whatever, if there's anything distinctive, put it down. It's your time to sell yourself in the best possible way. And again, any evidence of you being a hard worker, you need to put it into your application form, because further studies, postgraduate studies, is really upping the base big time. So they're requiring you to be very proactive, so you need to put that in as well. So planning your personal statement as well. Brainstorming key aspects that will be involved. Also plan the structure, have it in chunks together, rather than starting on a particular idea, leaving it and coming back again. 5 key attributes which best describe you. So it's almost like if you're applying for a job, you're applying for postgraduate studies. So again, the 5 key attributes that describe yourself. If you're not too sure, ask some friends, do a skills profile of yourself as well. Again, some of them I've mentioned, and if you are a course leader and you're recruiting students for a particular course, the following will be important: that you're conscientious, you're dedicated, you're mature, you certainly have to be motivated. You're taking on another course at another level, and a lot is required of you. Again, that you're maybe a leader, team player, ambitious, diligent, good listener. So there are some of the skills. And also important, if you mention the skills that you have, that you've got evidence to back them up in the application or the personal statement form, or else if you are called for an interview. It's important to mention the skills, but the evidence is also important as well. Okay, so the possible outline a personal statement would take. So brainstorm maybe first for yourself. Section 1, if you divide it into sections, it might help you as well. The course, the college, and why. Why this course, why that college as well. And it's important, like if you visualize or think about the college, it's almost like being an employer. They want you to know about that course, like an employer wants you to know about that job and that company. So it's important that you do your homework. If you feel the college has got a good reputation, mention it. If you feel the course has got a good reputation, if you know someone who did it, mention all that. It will be important as well in your form. So section 2, your academic qualifications and your attributes to date. How has the college life led you to this? So they want to know why this course, why the interest. Have an achievement focus as well, that you have achieved and you hope to continue achieving. If you've got relevant subjects, modules, projects, again, mention all those. Section 3, your personal qualities and achievements that make you suitable for the course. And clarify that for the course director as well when they're reading it. Also, a note I put in here, it's not an autobiography, so just be careful what you're writing and how the person who's reading it will interpret it. So every sentence you mention is important and should convince the reader that you have the academic skills and ability to go on and do the course. Okay, so things to avoid, and again what I did was I surveyed the course leaders on particular master's programs that we have, and this is what they came up with. Avoid waffle. And a lot of us, it's very easy to go on and waffle about things, so just to be careful, and if you have a structure, it'll help avoid waffle. Don't swallow a dictionary. You need to be natural in what you're writing as well. Absence of evidence. So again, that like if you mention something, you need to be able to back it up, and certainly don't lie because it will come out. Writing at length about results. If you've got good results, mention them, put them down, and that's it, move on. Ordinary interest, show that you're involved and show your involvement in things. Rushing, think you can write it without research or advice is really the wrong way about it. And the other thing I would say to you, if you are doing out a person statement, and if all of you are in a college and all of them will have a careers service, you know, be considered to the careers advisor. If you're reading a person statement, it takes a bit of time. So just to think about what you're writing. Don't think the careers advisor can sort it out for you. You know, they're not going to correct your English, they're not going to correct text talk, so just be careful what you write and put a bit of thought into it. And again, do not copy person statements from the internet. I mean, even if I get one in, I'll put it into Google, and some of them, you need to personalise it to yourself. Obviously look at samples and ideas, but don't copy exactly what you see out there. Again, words to include, any achievements. If you're an active person, put it in. If you've developed evidence, experience, your individuality, your impact, if you're involved, planning, all these sort of words and skills, make sure they're dappled throughout your application. It is important. Not to use words like always, awful, bad, fault, hate, mistake, never, panicked. Again, so just to keep those in mind, they're all words and phrases that have popped up in person statements. But again, if you think about it, the course director doesn't know you. It's a bit like your CV. It's the first impression someone may have of you. So when they're reading your person statement, put the thought into it. Okay? Again, a student came in the other day. They were asked, the first one I've seen, to be asked to be handwritten. But 9 times out of 10, you will type it up. But always make sure you keep a copy of it first. Again, be careful with the font size you use, because someone's going to have to read this, so nothing less than 12 really in the font, unless they state otherwise. Again, how you write about the course subject and the course choice you've picked is important. If you enjoy the subject you're studying or you're going to take, state it and why. Enjoy particular aspects of the subject, again, state which aspects and why in greater depth. Your work experience, which confirms your interest. Make sure you include that as well. How did it help you? Which career have you in mind and why as well to come through it? Okay, and any other reasons to include in it. I also spoke earlier on about having skills. So if you have skills, you need to have evidence. If you have work experience or experience, you need to put that in as well. And again, you have it in your handout, but it's where you gain the skills and giving the evidence is important. Again, how you write about your work experience is important. State the skills and match them to the skills you developed. Okay, so you're looking at the skills, state the skills you have and match them to the duties where you developed those skills as well. And when I talk about skills, these are some of them I mean. Communication skills, dealing with customers, listening, working independently, managing your priorities, teamwork, so on. Problem solving, again, is a very big one. And as one of our mature students who come back to do a master's, he, again, who'd worked in industry for quite a long time, he couldn't believe that students were struggling with decision making. And again, your decision making, think about how you make a decision, because again, that would be very important in your master's programs. Again, writing about your college experience, only write if it's of interest to the reader, okay? So what you write, reflect back on it and say, is this useful for the reader to see? Again, and examples that you have, and what you've gained from your experience is very important as well. So connect your experience and what you've gained and learned is important. Your interests inside and outside of college is important to put in. Identify any outline and key activities and experience you have, and what you've gained for them is important. And obviously the relevance as well. A lot of people will include in their CV or their personal statements a lot of sporting activities. Again, just be careful of what you're writing down and the relevance of it. So just, it may not need to be too detailed, but just to be aware of it and have a little bit written there in it as well. So the concluding statement, store maybe one idea. So again, like yourself, when you're speaking to somebody or when you're reading something, it's the first few minutes or the first few seconds when you meet that person, and the last few minutes is maybe where you tune in and out. So it'll be very similar with your personal statement. So maybe store one idea or experience until the end that will catch the attention or the and maintain interest. Again, maybe examples of relevant experience that you haven't mentioned earlier on, but now may be an opportunity to put it in. So the basics, take a copy of it, because if you are called for an interview, it's very important that you reflect that in what you wrote for that particular course in that particular personal statement. Read it thoroughly before you start to finish as well. Answer the questions. Consider why the question is being asked. For a lot of people, you might think this is a stupid question, but if it's been asked for a reason. Again, draft your answers. Make sure they fit the space. Check your grammar. No spelling errors, text talking, or anything like that. And please do not put in the small I. Okay, that seems to be the fashion this year. And maybe bring a draft to your career service or get somebody to check it before you send it.